Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for joining me for my weekly guitar blog. It's October 12th, 2014, and this week we're going to be running through some scale sliding licks. And this week's question was sent in from Jack. He's out in Portland, Oregon, and he wrote in with this email. A sound I really like is sliding from one step of the scale over into another. I've tried coming up with a few of these, but I can't get them moving along the neck like I want to. There's also slide ideas I'll hear that use two strings, either right next to each other or playing notes separated by a string. I hope my question makes sense to you. Could you do a video on sliding around scale notes? From Jack in Portland, Oregon, USA. Well, hey, thanks for writing in, Jack. Sliding between scale tones can be done in a number of different ways. We could slide along the neck using, let's say, pentatonic scales, or we could use sections of the complete 7-tone scale. Other ways of sliding along the neck can include either, ascending or descending slides, as well as slides that involve intervals, like using thirds or sixths or using fifths. But however it gets done, sliding from one scale tone up into another scale tone is a very cool sound that works great for melody lines or for embellishments during a solo. Well, the first sliding lick that I have is an along the neck A minor pentatonic scale going from the 6th string 5th fret all the way up to the 1st string's 10th fret D note. Here's how it sounds played slower at first. Okay, here it is again, a little faster. And a little faster yet. Okay, now the next sliding lick I have applies slide ideas around the full 7-tone scale. Now the difference in doing this approach as opposed to say the pentatonic idea, it comes down to targeting specific regions of the full 7-tone scale to determine basically how and where that you'd like to connect the different sections across the neck with a slide concept. So that means sometimes you're going to leave out notes here and there to get it done effectively. Now this idea covers the tonality of A minor key using the A natural minor scale, and here's how it sounds played a little slower. So I'm coming from the 5th fret A on the 6th guitar string, and I'm finishing off going into the 10th fret A on the 2nd guitar string. So here it is again. Okay, one more time, a little faster. Okay, once more. So the main thing when you're doing these slides with pentatonic or with the full scale, when you're first starting them, you have to get into that aspect of targeting the note perfectly. So when you do your slide, if you want to go from, let's say, 8 to 10, that you're moving into that 10th fret and it's connected and you stop appropriately. It gets harder when you're doing larger intervals. Let's say if I was sliding from 7th fret to 10th fret, it's a little bit harder. 5th to 10th would be even harder yet. If we went 3rd to 10th, it's getting even more challenging. It's the stopping at the right place. So you want to practice that quite a lot. And then just, mess around with your pentatonics, mess around with your full scales, and come up with certain sections through them that you think sounds cool to do these different kinds of slide ideas. Well, the next sliding ideas I have, we're going to move through scale tones. We're going to shift gears here a little bit for our key center as well. We're going to have a key of A major. And our approach is going to be going with a very lateral concept. At first, in this initial exercise, I'm going to use third intervals. And it's a really popular sound. You're going to hear this in a lot of guitar solos. And, in applying this concept, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 3rd and 2nd guitar strings and just sort of move along, going the 3rd intervals with a slide on the lower tone. That's all there is to it. I'll do it a little bit smoother. And one more time. Okay, so that was A major sounds that time. And what I'd like to do next is invert that third interval from the last example. When you invert a third, you get a sixth interval. And so this means we're going to be skipping over a string to compensate for the larger interval distance. Now our lick is going to be moving along in much the same way as we did with the slides applying the third interval. So we're just going to do a little bit different because with the third we were moving in an ascending fashion. With the sixth interval I'm going to do here next, we're going to go descending. So here's how it sounds. It's a very interesting sound. You know, might be reminiscent of something you'd hear from Mark Knopfler, perhaps. It's a very interesting interval. All right. Now I got one more interval idea for you, this time applying the perfect fifth interval. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite sliding licks for use in improvisation, since the fifth interval is constant across every degree of the scale except where we would have the diminished fifth occur in a harmony, which would be the seventh scale degree in a major key or a second scale degree in a minor key. So this makes the application of the fifth interval quick to learn and to apply for, let's say, improvisation purposes. So here's the sliding idea, and we're just going to start off playing a little bit slower. Comes from pretty high on the neck there. We're going to do a slide from 12 to 13 on the second string. Tag that 15 up there. And then we're going to start descending. Okay, here it is again. One more time. Well, the idea of sliding across scale tones during a composed melody or during a guitar solo takes some practicing to be able to develop. There's a fine line between not enough finger pressure and too much, and not getting the pressure or the string contact or the location that you want to slide into all performed correctly can lead to a failed attempt at properly nailing that slide melody or that slide lick. So start off with the examples I've shown here, and then carry on inventing your own scale tone slides. You know, also work on lifting your favorite guitar player's slide licks off of your favorite albums and so forth. The slide idea, you know, it sounds really cool. It's a really smooth idea, and they're an excellent way to jazz up a guitar melody or a guitar solo. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now. I'd like to take a moment to mention another guitar video lesson project I've started. It's a unique guitar lesson approach that I'm doing online, and it's not like anything I've done before. Best of all, it's 100% free. I've called this approach guitar micro lessons, and they're a great way to learn a few new licks or riffs or chord shapes each week. Now, these guitar micro lessons are quick and easy to learn from. They're very short, with each lesson running between only 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in length. They're published to YouTube from Monday to Thursday on my other Guitar Blog Update YouTube channel, and you can either subscribe to that channel to guarantee getting each new episode, or just visit the channel whenever it's convenient for you and check out the new micro lessons in the playlist on the Guitar Blog Update channel's homepage.